So we'll circle back to a slide here where I said future is composable, and we strongly believe so. We've bet the farm on it, in fact. So what it means on the upside is that you get a chance to evolve your business continually without those starts and stops where your competitors may overtake you in innovation. That's great. But there is also a day-to-day that needs to work within this way of working. And what happens when your commerce platform is separate from your CMS, is separate from your DAM, is separate from your ERP, and so on and so forth? It can become tricky to do those workflows that require you to go to different platforms to do it. We're sort of aiming to deal with that today with a new technology we call app slices. The idea here is to bring native capabilities of Ucommerce to other platforms. So you can start to do your workflows within a single platform where it makes sense. And I have some examples of that. But before we get into that, let me just show you the challenge here. So within Ucommerce, we have a bunch of capabilities. I've highlighted here with a little UI doohickey, right? It does something useful within Ucommerce. It's a central workflow. That's great. You can get all your stuff done in an efficient manner within Ucommerce. All is great. Then a composable platform comes along, and now you need to do some of the same things in that composable platform. So in the past, you would spend a lot of time gluing these platforms together. In fact, our old business model was exactly that. With this approach here that we will talk about today, it's possible to expose an app slice of Ucommerce within any composable platform. So essentially, we take that super useful workflow within Ucommerce and make it available in another composable platform. So you don't have to build it yourself, and you can leverage those capabilities that we ship within any composable thing. CMSs, PIMs, WMSs, whatever. These capabilities are available right in there, so you can unify the workflows where it makes sense. So are there some workflows where it makes sense? I think there are many, but there's one in particular that's very near and dear to my heart, and indeed all of our hearts here at Ucommerce, because that's where we come from, and it's the content and commerce space. So this particular one is interesting because there is just one central workflow in here, which is super, super important that you do over and over again, and it's so important that it's seamless. It's the landing page, right? Specifically the product landing page. So a page like this naturally belongs within the CMS. You set up your page, your media and all that, do all your content, and it's great for search engine optimization and all that. Your customers get there, and of course, when they do, you want to introduce some products as we have there on the right-hand side. But the products are locked away in another platform within Ucommerce. And so how do we bring them together? And that's what app slices aim to deal with. So here's the CMS piece, and obviously the e-commerce piece over here, and they need to come together. And that's exactly what we do with app slices. So with this version of Ucommerce, we're introducing an app slice we call the product picker. So within Ucommerce, you've always had the ability to navigate products, search for products, find what you're looking for, put them in categories and things like that. And that particular workflow is super useful, not just inside of Ucommerce, but outside of Ucommerce, specifically in a CMS like Umbraco, Sitecore, Sitefinity, or indeed any CMS. They do not have to be .NET based. It could be Contentful or whatever. So app slices essentially enable us to expose this functionality natively to the CMS or the composable platform, and you can work with it seamlessly alongside all the content capabilities. Let's take a look at what it looks like in practice, shall we? So I have here Ucommerce running, and I've set up a bunch of stores just, because I can, and we'll navigate to my B2C store here. So this is the one that I need products from. Within this store, I have some catalogs. You'll notice here I have a bunch, summer, winter catalog, and a bunch more just to make sure I have a lot of stuff. So within the summer catalog, I have a shirts category, and I've set up a few shirts in advance, a black one and a white one, so it matches the slide. Yes, pricing and all that has all been set up inside of our PIM. That's great. The product is ready to be sold, and we now need to make it available on the page. But how, right? So to illustrate the point, what's interesting here is that we do have an a workflow that's kind of what we need, right? If you squint a little and look at this, you need to select some products for the content page, and that's exactly what this workflow is all about. I navigate my catalog, my shirts, I find my products, I select them, and stick them on the content page, right? So it kind of looks like what we need. So let's take a look at what that could look like within another composable platform. I have sort of very randomly selected Umbraco. Well, not so randomly, but we have a long-standing working relationship with Umbraco, and of course, it just makes sense to show it. But I want to underline that it is not just an Umbraco thing. Any CMS will do. So let me show you here what we've done. So within Umbraco, we've set up a page. We just call it home to call it something, right? And on this page, oops, let me just sign in again. Here we go. On this page, we have content, right? So cotton shirt, we discovery, the luxury, blah, blah, blah. I may or may not have had some help from ChatGPT to set this up. So we have some content, right? So let's take a look at what that looks like on the front end. So it's published, and this is what it looks like. So this is how far we can go with Umbraco itself. Great. So we're now ready to make this a converting landing page. And to do that, we need to stick some products on it. So I'll navigate back to Umbraco backend. And we have made an app slice available down here. So you can see here how we're talking to Ucommerce. We're looking in the default store that we were just working with in Ucommerce a moment ago. And you see the summer catalog and the winter catalog. You may wonder why you're not seeing the 100 other catalogs in there, but that's because when you're working with Ucommerce, you're working with an internal view of your data. So all the data that may or may not be ready for a sales situation. So these are only the published catalogs that we're working with here. So like an external and outside-in view. So we'll navigate to the summer catalog, and we'll find the shirt category down here. And we have our two shirts, the white one and the black one. And I add those in. And this workflow is exactly the same as inside of Ucommerce. It's just made available via standard interface. Here we go. Document is saved and published. And we should be able to navigate to our landing page and see the products appear. So that's what an app slice can essentially do. It assists you on the back office to bring composable workflows together, to span across platforms, to enable scenarios like these that are super core. Because that is the downside of Composable, as we found it, that it does give you some pretty significant strategic advantages as a business. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of everyday work, it can be quite cumbersome to navigate multiple different platforms to get your work done as an e-com manager or an e-commerce user. We believe app slices is a great way to solve this, so you can actually unify these workflows where it makes sense. And products are just so essential for many different workflows. You can imagine how a CRM might need it as well. And these app slices can be made available, anywhere you choose to. Good. Of course, I just showed you an example of two composable platforms working together, but your real landscape will look more like this, that you have many composable platforms working together. And it's just important for me to highlight, it's not just a content and commerce thing. This is a native piece of Ucommerce that can be made available in whatever platform that makes sense. You make the decision. You just wrap it in the thing the host system needs, and we provide the entire user experience from there. So there are some pretty cool scenarios that you can unlock with this, and the product picker is just where we start. So that's app slices. You can bring native capabilities to other composable platforms, create user experiences and back office experiences across composable platforms. You can set up beautiful product landing pages with the product picker app slice that we're shipping today. I'm really excited about this. I think we're breaking some real new ground here, and I think this will make a real difference in the day-to-day life of e-commerce managers.